Hello everyone! So today we are going to tackle to you the Chapter 1 General Provisions. Article 1767, by the contract of partnership, two or more persons bind themselves to continue money, property, or industry to a common fund, with the intention of dividing the profits among themselves. Example: A and B create a partnership with the promise of contributing 10,000 each in cash. I give his share while B give a check worth 10,000 is the issuance a contribution of money. No unless the check is in cash. Article 1768. The partnership has a juridical personality separate and distinct from that of each of the partners, even in case of failure to comply with requirements of Article 1772. Example: consequences of being a juridical person can use and be sued. Acquire any kind of property. Insolvency of partnership does not mean the partners themselves are insolvent. Article 1769. Determining whether a partnership exists, these rules shall apply, except as provided by Article 1825, persons who are not partners as to each other are not partners as to third person. Co-ownership or co-possession not of itself establish a partnership, whether such co-owners or co-possessors do or do not share any profits made by the use of the property. The sharing of gross returns does not of itself establish a partnership, whether or not the persons sharing them have a joint or common right or interest in any property from which the returns are derived. Article 1770. A partnership must have a lawful object or purposes and must be established for the common benefit or interest of the partners. Example: the partnership must have a lawful object or purpose. Lawful object refers to capital, lawful purpose refers to the business itself. Article 1771. A partnership may be constituted in any form, except where immovable property or real rights are contributed, in which case a public instrumental shall be necessary. Example: in order to bind third persons, the transfer of ownership of immovable property must be registered with the Registry of Property in the province of city where the property is located.
Article 1772. Every contract of partnership having a capital 3,000 pesos or more in money or property shall appear in a public instrument, which must be recorded in the office of SEC. Example: if the partnership's capital is 3,000 pesos or more in any form, it must be in a public instrument, recorded with the SEC, and note that the property referred to here is movable, since immovable property is covered by Article 1771. Article 1773. A contract of a partnership is void whenever immovable property is contributed thereto if any inventory of said property is not made, signed by the parties and attached to the public instrument. Example: an inventory of the immovable property must be made, signed by both parties and attached to the public instrument, otherwise the partnership is voided. Article 1774. Any immovable property or an interest therein may be acquired in the partnership name. Example: being a juridical entity, a partnership can acquire property and subsequently become its owner. Article 1775. Associations and societies whose articles are kept secret among members, wherein any one of the member may contract in his own name with third persons, shall have no juridical personality and shall govern by the provisions relating to a co-ownership. Example: in a partnership, the partners are merely agents who cannot act alone. Articles of partnership are known to all partners and to the general public. Article 1776. As to object, a partnership, either universal or particular, as regards to the liability of the partnership, may be general or limited. Example: classifications of partnership. 1. As to the object. Universal partnership of all present property, defined in Article 1778. B. Universal partnership of all profits, defined in Article 1780. C. Particular partnerships, defined in Article 1783.
Article 1777, a universal partnership of all present property or to all profits. A universal partnership may either be partnership of all present property, partnership of all profits. Article 1778. A partnership of all present property is that in which the partners contribute all the property which actually belong to them to a common fund. Article 1779. In a universal partnership of present property, the property which belongs to each of the partners at the time of the constitution of the partnership becomes the common property of all the partners. Example, property owned at the time of contribution will become common property of the partnership eventually, because of the profits acquired through the contribution will become common property, unless there was a stipulation that says otherwise. Article 1780. A universal partnership of profit compromises all that the partners may acquire by their industry or work during the existence of the partnership. Example, if A and B form a universal partnership of all profits for a taxi cab business and both contribute vehicles that will serve as the taxi, what they were actually contributing is the use or the right to use their vehicles. Upon dissolution, the vehicles will be returned to them since there was never a transfer of ownership. Article 1781. Articles of universal partnership entered into without of its nature only constitute of the universal partnership. Example, if the articles of universal partnership are doubtful or unclear, then the presumption is that it is a universal partnership of all profits. Because a universal partnership of all profits require less obligations and less onerous since the partnership get to retain ownership over the property that they contribute.
Article 1782. Persons who are prohibited from giving each other any donation or advantage that cannot enter into a universal partnership. Example, a husband and wife cannot join in a universal partnership. They are not allowed to donate each other. An universal partnership essentially requires that the partners donate each other. They can join a particular partnership instead. Article 1783. A particular partnership for its object to determine things, their use of fruits, or specific undertaking or the exercise of profession or vocation. Example, those that are formed for acquisition and sale of property, accounting firms, law firms, and etc. Popular because it is easy to join. Article 1850. A limited partner is liable to the partnership. Article 1859. A limited partners is interest assignable. Article 1860. The retirement debt involved insolvency, insanity, or civil interdiction of a general partner dissolve the partnership unless business is continued by the remaining general partners. Article 1861. On the death of a limited partner, his executor or administrator shall have the rights of a limited partner.
Article 1863. In setting accounts, after dissolution, the liabilities of the partnership shall be entitled to payment. Article 1864. The certificate shall be cancelled when the partnership is dissolved or all limited partners cease to be such. Article 1865. The writing to amend a certificate. Article 1866. A contributor, unless he is a general partner, he is not a proper party to proceedings by or against a partnership, except where the object is to enforce a limited partner's right against or liability to the partnership.